In this video, we're going to talk about the constant of proportionality, which is just another way to describe how things are proportional together. So we're going to say that I can describe a proportional relationship. And it's kind of just like fancy unit rate. Okay? So the constant of proportionality is the unit rate between x and y. So how many are there of thing y for every one x? Okay? So our equation is y equals k times x, and k is the constant of proportionality. You find it by taking y divided by x, the unit rate of y to x, okay? So I can just replace it right there. Probably gonna need some highlighters, okay? So you get it from situations, right? So like kind of quote unquote real world situations. So it says, a store sells 10 pounds of bananas for $5.90. Okay. So x is going to be the thing that's changing, right? This is the independent variable. And y, if x changes, y is going to change. So that is the dependent variable. So if you remember learning about those before. Okay. So for 0 pounds of bananas, it's going to cost me $0. Okay. So to find the price for 1 pound of bananas, I'm going to find the unit rate. So I'm going to take my cost, $5.90, and divide by how many pounds of bananas there are, 10. Okay, and it's 59 cents for 1 pound of bananas. Okay. So for 5 pounds of bananas, I would just take that times 5. And it tells me that 10 pounds of bananas, I already know that from the problem, is $5.90. Okay. So I can use that unit rate. If I know 1 pound of bananas, how much that costs, I can find 5 pounds. I could find 7 pounds of bananas. Why are you buying that much bananas? I don't know. Okay. This is word problem world. It's a magical place. Okay. So we filled in the table, and now we're going to find the constant of proportionality, which we get by taking y divided by x. So k is what we're going to say for the constant of proportionality is y divided by x. So I'm going to pick a point from my table. For funsies, let's pick this one. Okay. So price is my y value, so $2.95. And I'm going to divide by my x value of 5. So just type that in my calculator, and you get 0.59, which we found from the unit rate, right? They're the same thing. The constant of proportionality is the unit rate of x and y. Okay. So to write an equation, my equation is y equals k times x, but instead of k, I'm going to substitute what I found it to be. So my equation is y equals 0.59 times x. Okay. So to get the price, y is my price, I'm going to take 0.59 times x, the number of pounds of bananas. Okay. All right, then another way to do it is by interpreting a point. Okay, remember that points are always x comma y. So 2.5 is my x value, which is the number of pounds. And 14.75 is my y value, which is the cost. Okay, so you could say that to buy 2.5 pounds of bananas, it would cost, okay, so I just took my x value and I put its label with it. It was 2.5, that represented pounds, 2.5 pounds. Okay, 14.75 is my price. So I'm going to put a dollar sign, $14.75. Okay, so interpreting the point is just saying, in a short sentence, give me the labels for this thing. What does 2.5 represent? What does 14.75 represent? Okay. All right, from a graph, I have my points and they're labeled. Remember, it's always x comma y. So I have all of these points that are labeled. I first have to determine if that is a proportional relationship. This one is, yes, because it is a straight line through the origin. So it's a straight line, here's my origin. So I can find the constant of proportionality. Constant of proportionality only works if it is proportional, right? That makes sense. Okay. All right, so I'm going to use a point from the graph to find the constant of proportionality. Okay, which remember, k is equal to our y value divided by our x value. Okay, so I'm going to pick this point because it has less fractions. Okay, so in that one, my y value is 1/2. And divided by my x value, 1. 1/2 divided by 1 is just 1/2. Okay, let's write an equation. The format for our equation is y, which in this case is the distance, is equal to 1/2 times x, which is the number of minutes. Okay. So instead of k, you just substitute in what it should be. That's all you have to do for writing the equation. Okay. Then to interpret the point, 1 is my x value, and here's my x-axis, right? It's right here, okay? This one is the x-axis, so it represents the number of minutes. Okay, so there's 1 minute. So I'm going to say in 1 minute, okay, my y value, 1/2, this is my y-axis, is the number of miles. We're talking about the subway car speed. So in 1 minute, the subway car can travel or travels. Okay, my y value is 1/2. And we're talking about miles, so 1/2 of a mile. Okay, so basically you're just going to find your unit rate by taking y divided by x. When you need to write an equation, you just plug it in for k, whatever that number was. And to interpret a point, you need just to make sure that you label what x and y represent. Okay, so on the back, you have 3 different situations. Each store is selling socks. Don't ask me why. Why socks? Socks are fun, actually. Okay, so this whole column is talking about the store that's called Kohl's. You don't have to do this highlighting. Okay, this middle column, all of these questions are talking about J.C. Porter. Okay, and then this third column, all of these questions are related to the store called Bullseye. Okay, so for each one, you're going to need to find the table, the constant of proportionality, write an equation, and then interpret a point.